What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, E Smells Good. I'm E. I hope you're smelling good, but more importantly, I hope you're feeling even better. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing two fragrances from the house of Lattafa, both of which have been extremely hyped in the fragrance community. So the first one I'm going to unbox is going to be Asad. This one, I believe it came out in 2021, and this is one that I've been really wanting to get my hands on. It's supposed to be an impression or a clone of Dior Sauvage Elixir, and from everything I've heard, it's pretty close. I will say the packaging is pretty nice. You got a mainly black bottle with some gold accents, and you got your holographic Lattafa emblem on the back. It's got this emblem with a lion in it, and then down here it says Asad Lattafa. The box isn't anything crazy, but for less than $20, it's on par with a lot of designers. And here is the fragrance itself. Hope that's coming out pretty well on the camera. It's kind of a matte black with a metallic gold accent all the way around the bottle. You have your logo there on top. You have that emblem with the lion again on the front. And then it says the name of the fragrance. The plastic of the bottle does feel a little cheap. Probably one of the cheaper feeling bottles that I've had from the house of Lattafa, but it doesn't feel extremely cheap. And at the end of the day, I did pay less than $20 for this fragrance. Let's see what the atomizer is looking like. It's decent. It's pretty decent. In air, I'm definitely getting that Dior Sauvage Elixir type of a scent. Let's get this one on skin. Let's do 2 sprays. Let that sit for a little bit. You really don't even need to bring the hand up. It is jumping off the skin. This one is going to be a projection monster for sure. Off initial impression, I'm getting something similar to Dior Sauvage Elixir, but on my skin, it's a little fresher, maybe even slightly greener, and I think I'm getting a little bit more of a vanillic undertone to it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily, to me, a dead ringer for Dior Sauvage Elixir, but it is fairly close. I will say I am a little underwhelmed just by the hype that I've been seeing online as far as people saying how close this one is. Now, maybe it needs a little time to macerate, or maybe I just don't have the same batch that other people have, but this one's not as close to Sauvage Elixir as I was hoping it would be. For the main accords on this one, we have amber, fresh spicy, vanilla, woody, warm spicy, sweet, tobacco, powdery, patchouli, and balsamic. And for the notes, we have in the top black pepper, tobacco, and pineapple. And I am getting that pineapple. I think that's what's giving me a bit of a freshness off top. In the mid, we have patchouli, coffee, and iris. I am getting the coffee a little bit. It's something that didn't necessarily jump out to me just initially smelling it, but with it in my head that there is coffee in it, I can pick it up. And in the base, we do have vanilla, amber, dry wood, and benzoin. And that's probably what's giving it that vanillic undertone that I was getting. Do I enjoy it? Yes. Do I think it is a dead ringer for Sauvage Elixir? Not really. This is one I'm very curious to play around with, wear this one a little more, and see if my initial impression and my actual final verdict on it will change. Once again, this one is Asad Lattafa. The next one is Vintage Radio, and this one is supposed to be duping Paragon by Initio. I will say, in all honesty, I have not smelled Paragon other than one time, so I cannot really say for sure how close this one is. So I'll be looking at this one more so as its own independent fragrance for now. The presentation on this one is really nice. You have a very sleek, kind of bronzish brown box. This does have some texture to it. It's not just a flat image. There's a bit of some embossing and debossing going on with this. Even the lettering on vintage radio up here is textured. So overall, the presentation is really, really nice on this one. So we got a bit of a Russian doll situation going on. So within that box, we have another box, and the second one is even nicer. I mean, this one, the presentation on this one is good. So this one opens up like this, and the fragrance rests inside. Lift that out. So very, very nice presentation. Then once again, this one is vintage radio. So for the presentation on this one, we have a really nice quality, hefty glass. That radio on the front has a lot of texture to it. It does come off the bottle a little bit. So in hand, it feels a little bit more luxurious than a $30 to $40 fragrance. I will say the top is very loose. This is a very loose top. So I don't think I would recommend picking this one up by the top. I think you might want to be a little so part of my cap is stuck in there. That's why it's so loose. Look at there. So that's why it's so loose. I'm hyping up the quality of the presentation, and a little bit of my sprayer was stuck in the cap. If you don't have the problem that I'm having, you'll probably have a much more secure cap. It seems to be the looseness from my cap is coming because this piece right here keeps coming off. So I might glue that down and see if I get a better secure, see if I get better security with that cap. But that's not what's really important. What's really important is how this one is going to smell. So let's get this one on skin. I'm gonna spray this one on my right hand. Let's first see what the atomizer is looking like. Once again, decent. Ooh, this one's nice. This one's really nice. Get two on hand. In air, I'm getting a very fruity, very sweet, and slightly woodsy scent. I think of the two, this one for sure is gonna be my favorite. This is a very beautiful scent. See, I'm getting some fruits, I'm getting some woods. Very, very sweet scent, very sweet. So if you're not a fan of sweet fragrances, I think this is one you might want to steer away from. But if you are a fan of sweet, you're a fan of unisex, and you like that sweet woody thing, this is gonna be a good one. Let's check out the notes on vintage radio. For the main accords, we have woody, fruity, aromatic, lavender, citrus. For the top notes, we have lavender, sage, and bergamot. For the middle notes, we have plum, palo santo, and black pepper. And then for the base notes, we have sandalwood and oud. So a lot of woods. There's some fruitiness coming from that plum and bergamot, and then there's a bit of an aromatic nature coming from that lavender and sage. Overall, really am a fan of this one. The woody notes in this come across very creamy. I think that's because of the sandalwood. And it almost has a bit of a smoky nature. And I think that might be coming from the Palo Santo. I'm not getting a lot of the oud in this one. And maybe in the original Paragon, if oud is a note in that one, you may be getting a little more of that, but I'm not picking up on really any oud in this one. I'm mainly just getting that plum, I'm getting the creamy sandalwood, and I'm getting a slight bit of smokiness from the Palo Santo. And that lavender is giving it a bit of a freshness in the opening. Well, I definitely am a fan of vintage radio. I think this is a really nice one. Eventually, I would like to get my hands on Paragon and see how close vintage radio is to Paragon. I'm also curious to see if I let these sit on the shelf a little bit, how that maceration process will go, and if they'll end up smelling even better a few months down the road. As the Asad has dried down, I'm beginning to like that one a little more. I still don't think it's a dead ringer for Sauvage Elixir though, which To some people, that might be a good thing, that it's kind of doing its own thing. It's not just a carbon copy, it's a bit of an inspiration instead of just a straightforward clone. And in the dry down of vintage radio, that plum has taken a bit of a backseat, and I'm getting more of the sweet, creamy, woody nature of the fragrance. Overall, I am a fan of both of these. If you've tried Asad or vintage radio, drop a comment down below and let me know what your experience with the fragrance has been. Also, let me know if your vintage radio came with a messed up cap like mine did. I can spin the cap all the way around if I wanted to, but I'm gonna try to see if I can fix that, and I'll probably let you know in the next video. If you stayed this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, peace.